Did I spoil it?
No, not intentionally. And I think this was just me putting two and two together. But there's two things. The movie kind of tells you something bad's about to happen. But the thing that really kind of alerted me that something bad is about to happen was when you posted on your Instagram story, this movie is sad. No context, but then I'm going into this movie being like, oh, this is a sad movie. Like, I'm not blindsided by when someone dies because you posted on your story, this movie is sad.
All right, guys.
I asked him to open this one.
He said, you should open differently. And I said, no.
He said, all right, guys.
Welcome back to this very cold night of Stole My Line.
Fireside Film Podcast.
Fireside Film Podcast. What are we diving into today, Grant?
We are touching on the...
I would say we're diving it.
Oh, yeah, we're diving into the Oscar-nominated, or Best Picture-nominated Netflix film Train Dreams.
Train Dreams.
So, here we go. And I have to say, I'm very glad I watched this movie.
Yeah.
Which, obviously, this is our Oscars catch-up series. And
yeah, we're hitting on all the Oscar Best Picture nominees.
Which we've seen like half of them. So if you haven't seen them yet, or haven't seen our reviews on them yet, they're right here. But we still got a bunch coming out. So this is Train Dreams. You can watch it on Netflix. And it's great. It's genuinely a great movie. You saw this before I did. So.
Yeah, I honestly watched it not a week ago, but it's been a minute.
Yeah.
You've literally just finished it.
Yeah, I watched it today.
Yeah, you're way fresher than I am.
What'd you think of Train Dreams?
I love this movie.
Yeah, it's great.
I mean, what stands out to me instantly is the cinematography.
Yeah.
And the aspect ratio, just kind of the vibe of everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just like gorgeous to look at.
Yes.
And on top of that, a phenomenal story.
Yes.
I think the story hits more, but I think this and Hamnet have very similar vibes to me in the Best Picture conversation, just because it hits
of size of film
and like super sad story with incredible cinematography.
Yeah, I would completely agree. Yeah, I had a great time. Well, I very appreciated this film. Did I have a great time watching it? Kind of. It was very sad. I think that's what I'm trying to get at.
Right,
is
yeah.
like this movie is maybe not the happiest watch, but I had a great time watching a great film. That's maybe what I'm getting at. Loved Joel Edgerton and Felicity Jones, and I mean everybody was great, but I mean it kind of feels like the people behind the camera take the most like spotlight, not in a bad way. I say Joel Edgerton probably takes the most spotlight, obviously, but like cinematography, like you said, blocking scenes, just I mean every little thing, it just feels so cohesive and well put together, and it's just genuinely an incredible movie. So
yeah, Clint Bentley, who directed this movie,
great,
who
killed it.
Well, I guess maybe he has 3 movies, but Sing Sing, which I don't think you've seen.
I've not seen Sing Sing.
Also phenomenal. And then this one is equally good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Clint Bentley is super talented of portraying like super small scale stories in a really powerful way.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would say this is probably my favorite of the two that I've seen.
I would say small scale is like in quotes a little bit. Because,
I mean, yeah, it's like this whole man's life.
Right.
Yeah,
I know. It is about one man, and the focus maybe feels kind of small, and it's about kind of one or two things, but it does span a huge time period.
That is true.
Or a huge shift in
yeah.
culture and a bunch of stuff that it serves as an incredible backdrop for the story in the film. So I thought that was incredible, too. But, yeah, it is a smaller story, smaller scale, smaller aspect ratio. You could go anywhere with that, but yeah.
And I think the use of like technology was really interesting to me.
Yes.
I mean, it literally starts with them like building a cabin by hand.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, like you see an interstate, you see a chainsaw, and then I'm not gonna spoil it, but at the end there's a technological shift that is pretty different.
And the film goes out of its way enough to where you realize that that is very much a part of what this movie is trying to convey and talk about. It's not just the setting, it's very intentional the way it's portrayed, which is great.
Yeah.
So what else stood out to you? Is there any any topics of discussion you want to talk about with Train Dreams before we dive into the spoilers, which I think we have to talk about most of this movie in context of the spoilers.
Yeah, I think there's one major spoiler that kind of is the movie. But I think another point is, like, I think just a story about, like, healthy trauma and masculinity.
Yes.
Which, I mean, I think it is touched on more now. Like, just men dealing with their emotions.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that is a big part of this movie, and I think it was handled in a very real and authentic way.
Yeah. I thought it's well said. I don't have anything else to say about that. I do actually have one question that I think we can keep spoiler-free before we dive into it, but you and I released a top 10 movies of 2025
we did, yes.
episode, which you can view right here. But neither of us had seen Train Dreams at that time.
True.
So, do you know off the dome where you would slot Train Dreams?
Let me pull up my list.
Yeah, I got to pull up mine as well. Sorry, y'all. Don't mean to be on our phones on the pod, but
yeah, we get.
This was a few weeks ago that we did that episode. So, okay, go for it.
I'm gonna say it is number 5.
Oh, okay.
Which
so
means,
what is it above and what's it?
So it currently goes
below?
Warfare, Smashing Machine, Begonia, Bring Her Back, Marty Supreme, Train Dreams, Sinners, Wake Up Dead Man, Hamnet, Frankenstein.
And that goes 10-1, not 1-10. When you open with Warfare, I was like, that's not your number
10-1.
Yeah. Okay. So which film did it knock out of the
Marty
top?
Supreme.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah. Well, Marty Supreme was top 5, and now it's not.
No. But which film of your top 10?
It knocked out F4.
Oh, no. Fantastic Four got knocked out of your top 10 in 2025.
Says the guy who has Sketch in his top 10.
It was a top 10 movie. What can I say? I am actually also going to slot this at number 5 for me.
Okay, yeah.
Which, going from 1 to 10, I have Frankenstein as my number 1 movie, then Sinners, then Hamnet, then Wake Up Dead Man, and then Train Dreams. And then I got a bunch of other movies, which you'll have to watch the video for, but it knocks out The Smashing Machine out of my top 10. So, not super devastated about that. This movie is a huge step up from Smashing Machine, no offense, but it was great. Had a great time. So, yeah, okay. That settles that. We retconned that whole video, but still go watch it because we have some great discussions. Anything else you want to talk about before we dive deep into spoilers?
I mean, I really think you should go see this movie if you haven't seen it, because the spoilers are kind of crucial to the movie.
Yes. If you're planning on watching it, I would say pause it. It's an hour 45 minutes. So
yeah, it's really short.
It's on Netflix.
Not really short, but like
it's not. It's 2.5 hours.
Solid length.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
Okay. Well, spoiler warning. I don't know. I feel like you had a question about the major spoiler that I'm ready for you to ask.
Did you expect her to die, Felicity Jones,
and
the kid?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Did I expect her to die? I think before I watched the movie, I would have said no. Like, when just of what I knew from the trailers or from what I had seen on the Netflix spotlight or whatever, I would have said no. I didn't expect that. But you watched this movie about a week before I did.
Oh wait, what? Did I spoil it?
No, not intentionally. And I think this is just me putting 2 and 2 together. But there's 2 things. The movie kind of tells you something bad's about to happen. But the thing that really kind of alerted me that something bad is about to happen was when you posted on your Instagram story, "This movie is sad." No context, but then I'm going into this movie being like, "Oh, this is a sad movie." Like, I'm not blindsided by when someone dies because you posted on your story, "This movie is sad." So I was kind of expecting something bad to happen, and then he says like that was the last time he was ever truly happy. I'm like, okay, so they're about to die, and at that point I was fully like in the loop that these characters are about to die. And it still was very emotionally heavy. Like, even the film spelling it out for you didn't make it less impactful to me. But I don't know. Did you expect it going into it?
No, I was completely blindsided.
How was that experience?
Okay, well, I have a funny story. So I think I literally said this on the top 10 episode, but I was like, I tried to watch Train Dreams because I wanted to add it, or like because everyone said it was really good, and then I fell asleep halfway through, so I didn't count it. So I watched literally moments before the forest fire.
What? Wait, that's kind of the best place to fall asleep then.
Yeah, honestly,
because then you didn't have it spoiled for like a week.
Because I was like, so I just literally thought they lived until the very end. So then I watched it again, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they are just gone.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, no, they're totally coming back.
Well, that's the whole thing with this movie.
Never did.
Well, yeah, they don't come back. ... Who knows? this movie dives a lot into what's real and what's not real. There's a lot of scenes in this movie where, like, I mean, there's multiple scenes in this movie where he's kind of talking to a dead person, dead people, who knows, you know? But the film kind of gives you a little hope that, like, you know, he's holding out for his wife and daughter coming back.
Yeah.
And then it kind of just crushes it for an hour. Like, you're just like, oh, they're not coming back and this movie's going to end sad. And then a girl shows up on his doorstep and he fully believes it's his daughter, but the narrator, which this movie is narrated, by the way. Cool.
And I love it.
I dug it.
You digged it?
Dugged it.
I saw one Letterboxd comment. This movie, and maybe this is just one guy. So if you watch this podcast, please comment why you said this. But you said that you were like, or this comment was said, this movie is so great every time the narrator shuts up. And I'm like,
wow.
I completely disagree.
I feel like the film has gone away from narration.
I know. I think narration's a lost art.
Yeah, a little bit of a rabbit.
Yeah, that's a rabbit trail.
But
I totally cut you off, too.
No, you're fine. It was a good, worthy rabbit trail. We hadn't even talked about the narrator yet. But the narrator's like, although he knows it's impossible, he can't help but believe it's his daughter, or whatever it says. And so the film kind of just leaves you, honestly, glass half empty on that. Like, it's probably not his daughter. And then she just up and leaves the next morning. Yeah. And he never even knows if it is her daughter or his daughter. Like, he never finds out if her name is actually Kate. And then it creeps in your mind, like, was that even real, or was that a dream? And then the movie's called Train Dreams, and you start to think that it could have been a dream. But then the film doesn't really answer that either.
And I wrote this in my Letterboxd review. I said, I think a lot of movies present a problem and then present an answer.
Yeah.
And I think nowadays it's every movie has an angle and it's trying to get you to think something, which is not necessarily bad.
Yeah.
But something that I absolutely loved about this movie is it presented a problem and then not a single answer.
Yeah.
It just existed.
Yeah. It's just kind of a snapshot of a life.
Yeah. Which not saying anything. I mean, but at the same time it is.
Well, okay, here's my question for you then, because this is one I was excited to ask you going into this movie. You are very big on Nugget of Truth.
The Nugget of Truth.
I think this is also in the top 10 episode that we did.
Yeah,
but you enjoy a movie more if it has a nugget of reality and truth about the world we live in, or life, or whatever. What was that? What would you say that nugget of truth is for you, or that the movie is telling you?
I mean, I would say I love how Robert still carries on.
Yeah.
After his wife dies.
Yeah.
So I think this movie paints a great picture of like a full life.
Yeah.
And it's not always good. It's not always happy. But like, I mean, I think the last shot of him like smiling at the plane.
Yeah.
Is like, it's just like beautiful and it's like sad. But I think this movie paints just a full life and why life is worth living.
Yeah.
Even through like the heartbreak.
Yeah. No notes. No notes. That's very well said. And if you have a different take, let us know in the comments. But I mean, I don't think I could have said it better myself. I completely agree with you. So
half of my ice is frozen to the top of my glass.
Guys, it's really cold. I'm so cold right now. Okay, yeah, we love it.
Do you have a nugget of truth?
I think I just left this movie feeling a lot like life is beautiful.
Yeah,
now that's not the full nugget of truth, but that is how the end of the movie kind of feels. Is, you know, there's so much beauty, and I think it's so well represented in the cinematography. Jeez, and I mean, so many aspects of how the film is made. There's so much, just you could tell they were in a forest filming, and it's sick, you know. And there's something about the early scenes that, like, yeah, there's gonna be good times that you never get back, but it doesn't make those early scenes any less sweet, you know.
I know. I think back to the narrator literally spells it out, but when he's like pretending to be a chicken and like throwing his daughter around,
yeah,
and then it's like, this is the happiest time of your life, and I'm like, this is about to get super deep and philosophical.
Here we go. I'm buckled in.
But it's like, how many times are we in moments that we like don't appreciate?
Oh yeah.
And it's like, obviously we don't have a narrator in the back of our heads like this is as happy as you're ever going to be, but like I don't know, it's just appreciate the moment.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and at the same time, like when that moment's gone, it's really hard not to cling to an extent.
Yeah, no,
you know?
for real. Yeah, that's true.
Because that's what he does kind of the whole movie, which
yeah.
I'm thinking about myself, like, I mean, I'm engaged right now, right?
Yeah.
You know, marriage and family is relatively on the horizon for me, and so I am thinking about...
I would say it's on the horizon.
We are careening towards it. But, you know, when I see these scenes of, you know, husband and wife, I think of my own fiance.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
you know, I love her very, very much. And so to think about all that going away is very sad. And I don't know how I would not cling to that, you know?
Yeah.
Also because he had no resolution. He never saw the body. Like, he searched for weeks. I was thinking in that moment, like, I would search for weeks. You know, I would search every town. And just all of that, I don't know how I wouldn't cling to the hope and then just get crushed by it over and over again because time just wears on that hope. So, oh gosh, this movie.
it's freaking sad.
It is very sad.
It's sad.
You gotta buckle in for the sadness, but it's great too.
It is good. It's like a feel good sad movie.
Well, and we've talked about this before. I think About Time was maybe the one that we've talked about this the most.
That movie's also phenomenal.
I've been creating so much work for us in post, but go watch that review right there. But there are some movies that impact you when you leave it, you know, or makes you just kind of rethink the world you're in a little bit.
Yeah.
About Time is a great example of that. And this movie does a little bit make you think, man, I just want to enjoy the happy moments that I have because who knows how fleeting they are, but I want to live in the moment, you know? So it's maybe a few more jumps to get there, but it's...
No, yeah.
That was kind of a little bit of what I took from the movie. So
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay. Shifting gears from our philosophical deep conversation to more of a logical movie conversation.
Okay.
I have a question for you.
Hit me.
How this is the Oscar series, right? We're going through all the Best Picture nominees.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think, not that we are Oscar, what's the word? Oscar reviewers? Voters?
Yeah.
Not that we're that, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you think, like these small-scale stories like Train, Trees, and Hamnet, haven't seen Sentimental Value or Secret Agent yet, so TBD, compared to Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, One Battle, and like how do you gauge that?
That is tough because
like to me these feel so different.
Yeah, scope of movie
how would I even pick one?
Well, yeah, that's what's hard about stuff like the Oscars is it's all subjective, right?
Yeah,
but there is also like a mass opinion that does matter to an extent. Also, sorry if you're watching on YouTube, my hands are like curled up in my glove, so I look like a dork. But I would say you see this sometimes that the smaller movies really go a long way,
Right?
But I just said also twice. They get left behind. And I would say a great example is Coda. Coda is so much smaller in scope. Now, it's about a very important subject and all this stuff, and you know, a not talked about community and all this stuff. And that's a movie that won Best Picture. But then I would say Sound of Metal did something pretty similar. I guess it would have been a year before, and kind of got left in the dust. And that was my favorite movie of that year, like by far, by a mile. I thought it was better than Nomadland, which won that year. And
Which was also a small movie.
Oh yeah, and Nomadland was great.
Yeah,
I actually kind of think Nomadland's a little similar to this movie, especially in visually and stuff. But it's just kind of depends on the year. This year is filled with big scope movies. If you look at Frankenstein and One Battle and Sinners, and Marty Supreme is another big one. That like the scope of those movies are so huge.
I mean, F1. Not that it's going to win, but
I do think that it is harder to do a large scope movie with extreme excellence. I do think smaller scope movies allow you to be more meticulous. Now, I'm not saying this movie was easier to make than Sinners or whatever. So I do think the best of a large scope movie could maybe beat out the best of a small scope movie.
Yeah.
But I do think better small scope movies are more common and can maybe also impact you more. I don't know. I could be super wrong on that take, and if you disagree, hit me up in the comments. I'll chat. But
I would say that small scale movies also have a whole lot less hands in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Like a director can really carry out his vision or her vision, and I think in that case they are allowed to tell a much more emotionally impactful story.
And you don't
some of the time.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about 20 actors killing it too. It's like
exactly
the 3 actors got to kill it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But mistakes also become more glaring on some of the small scale stuff at times. Like if one actor isn't pulling their weight, it kind of becomes obvious. So there's pros and cons. But yeah, what do you think? How do you think the movies like Hamnet and Train Dreams will fare this year? Because it's a bigger scope year, I would say.
I mean, it's interesting. I don't think that they're going to win just because I think the hype and the talk around Marty and Cinder specifically have been so big.
Well, and One Battle has a bunch of motion behind it, too.
But I will say, I think, and this might be a crazy take that I'm about to say, I would argue that Hamnet and Train Dreams have more longevity than Sinners, Marty, or One Battle, just because I think they have more of that nugget of truth, and it's more emotionally impactful, and it's one of those movies that'll sit with you longer than these bigger blockbusters.
You have talked more about really Hamnet than any other movie that came out last year.
Yeah, that's probably true.
And, well, maybe we talked about Frankenstein a lot, too.
Yeah.
But still, no, I completely agree. I think it's a good take. I'm very interested to see how the Oscars will pan out this year, because I'm sitting here and I'm hearing commentary that apparently we weren't high enough on One Battle, and that it's Paul Thomas Anderson is going to sweep this year. I'm like, I just have no idea. I have no idea what's going to happen. So who knows?
Not us. We do not know.
Well, I feel like we've touched on everything we need to talk about here.
Yeah, I agree.
Is there anything else you want to say, or good to wrap up?
I think we're good to wrap up.
All right. Well, we have Wonder Man coming out Friday.
We do.
Which is out on Disney Plus. So
I have finished it.
I have not started.
He hasn't even started.
So I'm about to grind on that. But we got some good reviews in pipeline. I think we're going to review Sinners next week.
Next Thursday.
Maybe. And maybe Iron Lung at some point. Who knows?
Oh, yeah. We are going to get an Iron Lung out there.
At some point. So stay tuned for that. We've got a lot of stuff in pipeline. And, hit that subscribe button. Hit follow if you're listening on podcasts. We would love to keep giving you content. And the best way you can support us is hitting that subscribe button. Yeah. Anything else?
Take a break.
Enjoy film.